Why don't you go see your boyfriend?
Yeah, he's got a nice room. He won't have it long. He left a call for 7 a.m.
See if we can figure out something.
Listen to what I do.
Hiya. Bit of a spontaneous time there, but I was busy recording some of the lesser seen judges and thought, why don't I just pop on for a little court watching while I get my ducks in a row. Also, StreamYard is telling me that my connection is unstable today, and as far as I can see, my connection is not. It is not. Right, I'm actually going to, I'll say hello as we go, but I want to hop straight back to, where are we? Why is this not showing up as an option? I'm going to hop straight here because Judge Webster tends to remove these pretty quickly.
The first one you have there?
This is Michael Kilby.
So I want to watch this as it's live, just in case.
We are on the record in 2023, TR 1860, State of Kansas versus Michael Eugene Kilby. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson, appear on behalf of Michael Kilby. Mr. Kilby does appear at the courthouse Sallyport. Your Honor, we announce at this time Mr. Kilby will be entering a plea of guilty to driving while habitual. States agreed to dismiss the count to the tag violation.
Ms. Pierce, that's correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kilby, how do you plead to count one, driving after being declared an habitual violator and have had your license revoked?
Guilty.
You're admitting you did the crime?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone making you enter this plea of guilty by any threats or promises other than your plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand with this plea of guilty, you're not only admitting the charge, but you're giving up your right to trial and your right to appeal conviction?
Yes, I understand.
And were you driving on April 5th, 2022 in Butler County?
Yes, I was.
What roadway were you driving on?
7th Street, leaving McDonald's.
In Augusta?
Yes.
And at the time, was your driving status revoked as habitual violator?
Yes, it was.
Okay. I'll find you guilty. Recommendations for sentencing?
Judge, at this time, the state is going to be recommending a $200 fine cost. I'll leave the attorney fees to the court, probation fees, 8 months controlling, and 1 year probation.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. Anything further before I determine sentence?
We'd ask court to adopt the recommendation, Your Honor.
Mr. Kilby, where do you work?
I just started at Textron.
Textron? Very good. Yeah. All right, sir, you're going to be fined $200 and given an 8-month jail sentence. You're assessed $108 for court costs and $60 supervision fees. $250 of your court-appointed attorney fees.
Okay.
I think that comes about to $618. You will be granted a 12-month reporting probation with all standard conditions. You must contact probation immediately after this hearing. You could probably just walk down the hall to their office. If not, you'll need to call them, but you're to report today. And their number is 316-322-4153. But first, I'm going to direct you to go by their office and see if they're available for you.
I was wondering, cause I got hurt and get back to work, so I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't. And I was wondering, I get off work at 2:15. Can I just come back later after I get off work and take care of this? Cause
No, you'll get off work if you don't go by there. Just go by there and tell them your situation. And then if they want you to call them back, that'd be fine. Nobody really wants you to lose your job. It's
yeah, I'm like around thin ice here because I'm on a probationary period and they don't mess around with the tenants. So.
Yeah. Well, just run by there and tell them your situation, and hopefully they'll work with you on that.
Okay, I will. All
right. Thank you, sir. Anything further from anyone?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You may go, Mr. Kilby.
All right, thank you. Am I gonna get something proving that I was here? Okay, all right, thanks.
Next one I have coming is Michael Foy. Foy. Just me.
We are on the record in 2024 CR 283, State of Kansas versus Michael Shane Foy. Please announce appearances.
This is going to drive people crazy, but I just had another 3 comments on my Judge Middleton video saying that the commentary is frustrating or that people want to watch the stream uninterrupted. I just want to say again that this is a commentary channel. So if you want to watch the uninterrupted streams, the judges have them on YouTube. I'm just watching the YouTube and reacting. If you don't want it to have any commentary, then you can go to theirs and watch it there. But it can't come as a surprise when I comment on the court or chat because it's a commentary channel. So just wanted to put that out there before I get comments on it.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson, appearing on behalf of Michael Foy. Mr. Foy does appear from Courthouse Security 1 video station. Judge, this is a case we're asking the court to set it for a jury trial.
Jury trial will be set October 2nd and 3rd, 2024, 9 a.m. live in person at the Butler County Courthouse. Pre-trial will be set via Zoom September 30th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Will be continued on your bond with the existing conditions, Mr. Foy, as well as the added condition that you reappear by Zoom for pre-trial and that you reappear in person for jury trial. Anything further, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Hey, Your Honor.
All right, we'll be in recess on Foy. Mr. Foy is excused.
Yes, sir. Is Darren in his office? Yeah. Okay. Josh Hansen. Hansen. They ran proof on insurance that shows I'm valid up to.
We're on the record in 2024 TR 920, State of Kansas versus Joshua Scott Hansen. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson, on behalf of Joshua Hansen. Mr. Hansen does appear from Courthouse Security 1. Judge, this is a case where I have spoke to Mr. Hansen. He is in the process of working to get me some additional paperwork and information to help him out this case. I've asked the court to let me settle one additional time.
Ms. Pierce, your response.
I have no objection, Your Honor.
Jen, when do you want him to come back?
October 28th, please.
October 28th at 8 a.m., Mr. Hansen, unless Mr. Patterson tells you another time.
Yes, ma'am.
All existing conditions of your bond continue to apply, plus the added condition that you reappear October 28th, 8
Yes,
a.m.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nothing further?
Judge, I just want to pass on one piece of information. Mr. Hansen, if you could keep after it, make sure I get that information, call my office to verify we got it.
Yeah, yes, sir. Not a problem. It should have been faxed over a few moments ago.
Well, call back in later and verify we got it.
Yes, sir. Not a problem.
Okay, thank you, sir. You're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, I have Ronnie Christian.
Cheryl, did you get my chat on that case, Christian?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're on the record in 2023 TR 3091, State of Kansas versus Ronnie Lee Christian II. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Ronnie Christian, who does appear via Zoom audio visual. Judge, in this case, the state, I believe, has agreed to amend it to KSA 8235, no valid driver's license. My client would enter plea of guilty to that amended charge.
Ms. Pierce, is that your amendment at this time?
Yes.
Mr. Christian, how do you plead to the amended charge of operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you are guilty?
Yes.
No one's made any threats or promises other than this amendment to cause you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that you're waiving your right to trial and your right to appeal conviction?
I do.
Were you driving here in Butler County on July 26, 23?
Yes, ma'am, on Santa Fe Lake Road, near Augusta.
Okay, and did you have a driver's license?
Not with me at the time, no.
Okay, now that's a separate charge on what they've amended it to.
I didn't have it with- I
8235,
didn't
no
have it.
driver's license,
I
period.
didn't have it.
Okay, you didn't have it. It wasn't like at home in your wallet, but
No, I didn't have
okay,
it.
all right. Just need to make sure we got the right charge here. Okay, I will accept your plea and find you guilty. Recommendations for sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, $100 fine, 120 days, controlling, 6 months probation, course costs, fees, and I'll leave the attorney fees at your discretion.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Patterson,
Your Honor, would ask court to adopt the recommendations.
where do you work, sir?
Super 8 part-time North Rock Road.
What was the name of the company?
It's the Super 8 on North Rock Road. I work part-time.
Okay. At this time, your fine is $100. Your jail sentence is 120 days. Your court costs are 108. Your attorney's fees are 250. So I think that comes to about 458. And I'll grant you a 6-month non-reporting probation. So if you don't ever want to have to serve any of this 120-day jail sentence, you have 2 things to do to be successful on probation. 1, don't violate any laws. Violate no laws for 6 months. The second one is pay the total of $458. How much time do you need to pay that?
Where do I go pay the $458? I'll pay it today.
All right, you can pay it down the hall at the clerk of the district court. I'm going to order that it be paid today. So the only other thing you have to do is not violate any laws.
Okay.
All right, so deputy, if one of you can just head him in the right direction to the clerk.
Will do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're excused.
Judge, I've had 2 people with requests to take their case up. One of them is Dulce Nevarez.
Is the other one Tammy Jones?
The other one
Tammy
is Joshua Green.
Tammy Davis just let herself go. Okay, Dulce
Okay, I need to explain why the judge is spicy about Tammy Davis. So at about 9:20 a.m., Tammy Davis sent a message to, what the heck, Judge Washington's live just disappeared in the middle of it. What's happening? Sorry, Tammy Davis sent a message to the court saying that she had been there for 2 hours and that she needs to go because she's got stuff to do, right? The judge was like, okay, but it's court. Like, you should, if you have stuff to do, it should be court. And then tried to contact her, questioned how come she had been there for 2 hours when court only started at 9, how she had logged on, etc. There was silence. So now judge is being spicy every time she brings up Tammy. Which tab is it now?
Dulce, Nevarez. Okay, first of all, you're gonna have to stop walking around.
I'm in class, but I'll stop right here.
Oh, I thought you were in court.
I'm at both.
You're doing
It's
both?
my first day at college courses today, so I'm doing both.
Okay, well, hopefully it's your first or second day in court. Normally, I'd make you take your cap off as a sign of respect for court, but I won't particularly do that. Thank you. All right. We're on the record in 2024 TR 1580, State of Kansas versus Dulce Judith Nevarez. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Dulce Nevarez, who does appear personally via Zoom audio visual. Your Honor, Ms. Nevarez has provided proof of current insurance at the time of the stop. State has agreed to dismiss that charge. At this time, I would announce that pursuant to plea negotiations, Ms. Nevarez will enter a plea of guilty to driving while habitual, and the tag violation, states agreed to dismiss circumvention of ignition interlock.
Okay, so she's pleading to count 1. Is that the only one?
And count 3, expired tag.
Okay. Ms. Nevarez, how do you plead to count 1? Operating a motor vehicle after being declared habitual violator?
Guilty.
And how do you plead to count 3? Operating that vehicle without a tag?
Guilty.
You're admitting these 2 charges?
Yes.
And are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
No one's threatening you?
No, ma'am.
Under the circumstances, if you want to put your cap back on, since you're outside in the sun, that would be fine. Okay,
Sorry. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, now, you understand that if I accept these pleas, you're waiving your right to trial and you will not have a trial? You'll be
Yes, ma'am.
convicted. You'll be convicted and unable to appeal your conviction.
Yes, ma'am.
And were you driving in Butler County on June 11th of 2024?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Where were you driving?
I was on the highway and I was like maybe 10 minutes outside of El Dorado.
Okay. And I think 10 minutes either way still puts you in the county, if I'm not mistaken. And your license had been revoked. You didn't have a license at the time?
No, ma'am, I did not.
It had been revoked because you were a habitual violator?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said it didn't have a tag. All right. I will accept your plea and find you guilty. Recommendations for sentencing?
Judge us to count 1, a $200 fine. Count 3, a $50 fine. Count 1, back to count 1. I apologize. Attorney fees, I'll let you make that determination. Probation fees, 8 months controlling, 1 year probation costs. Count 3, the fine in addition to 30 days underlying to run concurrent.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Patterson?
No, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Nevarez, how old are you?
I just turned 30.
30, okay. And where do you work?
I intern at Flint Hills Technical College in the IT department.
I am going to fine you on count 1 to $200. Your sentence will be 8 months in the county jail. On count 3, the tag, your fine is $50 and a 30-day concurrent county jail sentence. You will be granted a 12-month reporting probation. Your court costs will be assessed at 108. Your attorney fees at $250 and your supervision fee at $60. You will need to pay a 12th of the total due on September 12th of 2024, and then you'll owe a 12th on the 12th day of each month thereafter until paid in full. All standard conditions will apply, and you must contact court services as soon as we're through here. And their number is 316-322-4153. And then
Thank you.
Any remaining counts are dismissed by the state. Anything else we need to take up?
Not by the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
Ms. Nevarez, do you have any questions? Nevarez?
Yeah, I just had a quick clarification. So I do have to go to jail?
You do not have to go to jail unless you violate your probation. If you violate your probation, you can go to jail on count 1 for 8 months, and that will include the 30 days on count 2. So if you do not want to do 8 months in jail, make sure you do exactly what your probation officer directs you to do.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. And you may go at this time. Thank you.
I like her though. She's snappy this morning, especially.
You had someone else wanting to go next. Who was that?
Joshua Green had asked to go.
All right. Joshua Green, start your audio and your video.
Can you hear me all right?
I can. Thank you, sir. I'm just pulling up your case. We'll be on the record in 2022, TR 2564, State of Kansas versus Joshua Glenn Green. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appearing on behalf of Joshua Green, who does appear via Zoom audio visual. Judge would announce this time Mr. Green is going to enter a plea of guilty to driving while habitual Class A non-person misdemeanor.
Well, hold on.
By the way, Fleischer got a letter. He'll have a sov sit in his court on the 11th of...
Looks like Mr. Green posted bond in the amount of $4,000 January 13th of 2024. April 12th, his bondsman asked for discharge of surety and judgment was taken on the bond. June 3rd, motion for judgment on bond mailed to attorney. So are we not set for motion for judgment on bond today, Jen?
Yes, it appears we are.
And is this defendant, is his bondsman here? Is that you, Tyson?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Is this deja vu? Is this what you're trying to tell me a while ago?
Oh, I was trying to tell you a little while ago that this warrant, okay, first of all, yes, this is deja vu with what we were talking about. But with his warrant, it was not active, Your Honor. I have proof that actually this weekend he went and did a quick dip in Sedgwick County, and his warrant has not been active. He's on probation. He's doing great. He's a great client. He's been doing great. So I was under the impression that when you guys send out your initial letter, everybody's just supposed to come like a continuance to court. Now, in this matter, though, for the warrant purposes, it was not active. So I don't know what's going on that end of it. But
Well,
it
I'm showing it is still active. Am I not, Jen?
We have not gotten a return on it yet, but that does not mean that we haven't just gotten the paperwork yet.
Ms. Spears, do you show anything suggesting his warrant is no longer active, that he's been picked up on?
No, Your Honor.
Well, Your Honor, the only reason why, well, I guess what I'm saying is that when he went to Sedgwick County this weekend, I was almost certain that it was going to be a Butler County warrant come up also. But I have been speaking with him, and he said that he had an attorney and he would be on this court soon. So that's why I was under the impression that the warrant wasn't active. Now, no, I wasn't going to pick him up on that warrant yet because I didn't have this understanding that we had just came to this morning. But I was just saying for the record that he went to jail over the weekend and the warrant never popped up.
Well, I can see why if he went to jail and they didn't arrest him on it, you'd think that. Okay, so Deputy Caulfield, are you able to check your sources and see if they're showing that active in their system?
We'll check it.
Okay. Because I just showed this hearing for motion for judgment on bond. In the meantime, while he's checking on that, what is your plea agreement, counsel?
Your Honor, that he would plead guilty to the charge of driving while habitual, that at the time of sentencing, there would be an agreement for a $200 fine, cost, court to determine the attorney fees, a probation fee, 8 months controlling and 1 year probation.
Pretty much consistent with the others I've seen this morning, Ms. Pierce.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Green, is that how you want to dispose of this case, regardless of what we're doing with your warrant and bond?
Yes, Your Honor. I just would like to get it off of your caseload, get the fines and fees paid, get it off of my bondsman's caseload as well, and just get everything handled. And I may have to have the probation transferred, but I do have the funds available to pay off anything that we need to pay off today.
All right, so how are you pleading to driving while declared an habitual violator?
That'd be guilty, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you believe you are in fact guilty?
I'm pleading guilty because I did commit the crime.
All right, you're not just pleading guilty to get it over with, you're pleading guilty because you believe you did do it.
Yes, you are correct.
All right, and was this driving on August 16th of 2022?
That's correct.
Do you remember where you were driving?
It would have been on Kellogg, which is, I believe, Highway 400. And it was just outside of Augusta, almost to Andover, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that's in Butler County. And before that date, and on that date, you were revoked as an habitual violator.
You are correct.
All right, I accept your plea, find you guilty, and I will follow the recommendations for sentencing. Your fine is $200. Your court costs are $108. Your supervision fee is $60. And where do you work?
Elite Custom Construction.
All right, $250 attorney fees. Your probation will be 12 months reporting. I do give you authority to transfer that to your home county, but you must today after this hearing, call probation and report. It's 316-322-4153.
4153, you said?
4153, yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It looks like your total's about 618. You said you think you can pay that all when?
Right now.
Okay, you can't pay it online right now because they need some time to do paperwork, but if you paid it in person, you could. Are you anywhere near the courthouse?
There could be a possibility that I could have my boss possibly get me out there before Friday of this week
Well,
and get
how
it
about
taken
if
care
we
of.
do this? Why don't I give you 30 days to pay? You get it
Okay.
paid as soon as you can get through to the payment center and they have the journal entry. Wait about a week and then call or then contact them. It's online payment is paykscourts.com. paykscourts.com.
I believe we were on there last night trying to pay off another fine that I got here in Wichita, and we were having some errors. So I will make it an appointment to get to El Dorado.
Okay.
What'd you say, roughly about a week before that
Oh,
process?
if you're going to pay in person, you can pay anytime.
Okay. Okay.
You could pay today if you wanted to.
No problem.
All right. Now, Deputy, what do we find out about that warrant?
He does have an active warrant.
I think I told Tyson what I thought about that. You should have been turned in on that, but I don't understand. I'm like you. I don't understand why they didn't arrest him on that while they had him.
Yeah, that was my confusion there, Your Honor. And also, I had never had this clarification from what you're completely expecting in your courtroom. Now, is that how Greenwood is also? Is that how you're going to be with Greenwood? Okay, awesome. That way now I have a complete understanding with your court process. And we're actually about to pull up on Miss Janelle right now, and we'll get that taken care of probably before it's over with. So hopefully you can spare us on that one. I do apologize for any confusion. Like I said, this is another client, but it's underneath the same umbrella as us, and we have no problem with taking care of it how you need us to.
Okay. Well, Ms. Pierce, do you have any position on whether to go ahead and set it aside or do you have any problems with setting it aside at this point?
No, Judge, I just soon get this thing taken care of. This is a 2022 case, and there's been a number of failure to appear. I think we just need to withdraw that motion for judgment on bond, and let's get Mr. Green on down the road as well as Tyson.
Okay.
And Your Honor,
yes.
if I may, on behalf of Tyson, I was in Mears for 30 days, and I was also in custody for about 2 months this year. So upon the warrant, as far as case bonding goes, that was completely my mistake. I've been in constant contact with Mr. Case. I let him know what was going on. He made me full aware of the warrant. He informed me to go turn myself in. So I just wanted to let you know that on behalf of case bonding, I place blame on myself for not getting to the courthouse and turning myself in, if you do accept my apology.
I do, thank you. And I know that case bail bonding does their best to comply. So like you said, we've got a misunderstanding cleared up. No more problems there. All right, so the motion for judgment on bond is set aside, and Mr. Green is excused to go and call his probation officer. Mr.
Judge, is the warrant also set aside?
Yes, I'm setting it. Thank you for asking that. The warrant is set aside. The motion is set aside. Now, Tyson, what is your last name? You are Tyson Case. You are not to be mistaken with Ty Alexander, correct? Because
no.
He had been a bondsman on here at one point.
Yeah, I know Ty Alexander. He's still around.
Okay, all right. So,
Judge, I see Al has a question.
Yes, Deputy.
Judge, you're going to have to sign that off also before the jail will lift it. So.
Well, just to notify the jail that I'll get around to it just as soon as I can, Mr. Felton. In the meantime, please leave Mr. Green alone.
The problem is
I
if
used
another
to have
county
enough
picks
clout
him
I could
up.
call them, but unfortunately I don't anymore.
I'll get
I'll
it
be a
done
good
just
boy, I
as soon
promise.
as I can.
All right, Mr. Green, lay low. They've got an active warrant until it gets out of the computer.
I appreciate your time, your hospitality, and you have a wonderful day.
All right, but make your call to probation. But I will tell you, the order is that it's no longer active. That's my
Thank you,
official
Your Honor.
order.
Well, as long as it's no longer active at this point, I'll be on my way to work and
Okay, but they can still, because even though I've ordered it, they haven't gotten it out of the computer. So Sedgwick County, if you're speeding, they could snag you. But if you're speeding, you violated your probation, so.
yeah, I won't rob no banks between now and then.
All right.
And call probation
Thank
first
you.
before you go to work.
I will call them as soon as I get off of this Zoom.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Don't get in any more trouble.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, who is next?
Hey, Your Honor, real quick before I get off,
yes,
so
sir.
I'm here at Janelle's house. I'm about to go up and get her in custody, and then I'll have her transported to Butler County today.
All right, thank you.
And Tyler Robinson's on here also. He was Pat Hebert took him. I think it was Friday when you wanted him in by noon. He went and got him booked in directly. Also, just so you know.
Okay, okay. I do see Mr. Hebert is Robert and Tyler Robinson.
Yes. Oh, he's back. Okay, perfect. Mr. Hebert's on.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Am I excused, Your Honor?
Who's asking that? Mr. Green?
Yes, ma'am.
You're excused. You're excused.
All right.
Mr. Case is excused. Can we take up the case Mr. Hebert's for? That would be Tyler Robinson.
Yes, can you hear me, Your Honor?
I can hear you. That's Mr. Hebert, right?
Yeah, okay, yes, thank you.
Mr. Robinson, you're going to need to start your video.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Where are you? There you are. I can see you. Is he on the docket? Did we get him added on here physically?
Judge, I don't see him on the docket, but he may be on Mr. Regeer's.
Okay, for some reason they've canceled it. It's at the bottom of my screen as under the canceled section.
Your
Does
Honor,
it have a new date?
Your Honor, if the court is prepared to formally call the case, I believe I would be in a position to address that matter.
I could help also, Your Honor, what transpired.
Hang on. We're on the record in 2020 CR2, State of Kansas versus Tyler Eugene Robinson. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regeer on behalf of the state.
Pat Hebert, Big Fish Bail Bonds.
Tyler Robinson.
And Mr. Robinson, you're appearing without counsel today.
That's true. I did call the courts and they gave me Mr. Patterson.
All right, we were here on August 5th, 2024 on the misdemeanor control docket. Defendant was present by Zoom and with his bondsman, but they were at a separate location and Mr. Hebert was going to bring the defendant into custody by noon that day. And the court would give consideration on the bond forfeiture as the defendant had failed to appear March 20th, 2024, and March 5th, 2024 was the hearing on that. So the defendant was brought into custody. He appeared before Judge Rickey on August 7th. Mr. Hebert, were you the one that wanted to make a statement? Or no, Mr. Regeer, go ahead.
Your Honor, with all due respect, I might respectfully take any other statements the court may wish to hear from the other parties in this matter before I can make recommendations. The state's understanding is that at least at the August 5th hearing, the court did reserve the issue of the motion for judgment on bond for purposes of today's setting, and I am showing that first appearance was conducted 2 days later on the 7th before Judge Rickey with my colleague, Mr. Canfield, present at that time.
And when you say first appearance, that was first appearance on the arrest, not legal first appearance.
It would appear so, Your Honor. Based off my notes, there was the original first appearance in this matter was before Judge Hart back in November of 2023. But at any rate, it does appear there was a first appearance, a hearing on the first appearance docket, rather, on the August 7th date. I apologize if I misspoke.
And that 2023 hearing was first appearance because he failed to appear in March of 2020 and May. It was filed in March 2020. He failed to appear May 8th of 2020, and a warrant was active until he was found and brought before Judge Hart in November of 23. So we have a substantial history of trying to get this gentleman in court, this defendant. Okay, so my thought is, Mr. Hebert, you've done your duty. You've gotten him in here. Any objection to setting aside the motion or judgment?
Your Honor, under these particular circumstances, the state would so move to withdraw the motion for judgment on bond at this time.
All right, so that will be granted. Motion set aside. You're no longer on the hook for that, Mr. Hebert. And the defendant apparently made bond before Judge Rickey August 7th. And
I posted that bond, Your Honor, so we have him on bond still.
all right, then you're back on the hook.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Patterson, that is your client. Oh, he's not your client, is he?
I don't know, Judge. I don't have it on the docket today.
Well, I show you as his attorney, but I also show him having signed a waiver. Oh, my goodness.
Your Honor, based off of my records, I am not showing any counsels of record in this case. I am not showing any orders appointing counsel or any interference unless there have been some recent updates that I'm not aware of. If I am, I apologize for misspeaking if I indeed did misspeak earlier.
I don't think you did. Let me just scroll through here. Try to figure out why I have him appointed. Mhm. I'm not actually, I just did a super quick look, so I could have overlooked it, but I'm not seeing Mr. Patterson appointed. Mr. Robbins, deputy?
Could you tell me, does he still have a court date in front of Judge Lee on August 16th?
Okay, the notes from August 7th show that Judge Rickey did put him on the August 16th docket at 1:30. So apparently all we're dealing with today is setting aside the bond, and the hearing remains, unless we take care of it today, it's on Judge Lee's docket. Now, if we take care of it today, I'm sure Judge Lee wouldn't complain. But Mr. Robinson, do you have an attorney? Are you going to have an attorney? Or are you going to continue to represent yourself?
I called down to Mr. Patterson's office, and I spoke with his secretary. I called the courthouse, and I believe it might have been someone that works in your office for the courts, and I told them that I would like to get I would like to have counsel. So they said that it would be Mr. Patterson. But I would like to do this on August 16th in person.
So you haven't applied for an attorney? You just called somebody and told them you wanted Mr. Patterson?
That's how they made it seem like it worked. When I called out there, they said, "Hey, okay, well, here, we'll give you a call back and let you know how this works." They gave me a call back 10 minutes later and said, "Okay, well, you've been appointed Darren Patterson."
Darren Patterson, do you know anything about this client?
I would just look in my open files and I don't see a file for Mr. Robinson, so I'm not for sure, Judge.
All right, let's do this. Are you employed, Mr. Robinson?
Currently, yes.
Currently, yes.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
I work at Accurus Aerospace.
What do you make per month?
I make about $1,300 a month.
Married or single?
Single.
Don't have anyone living with you to help with your bills or anything?
No.
What do you pay per month for rent if you do, or mortgage?
800.
You pay utilities on that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you will qualify unless you have any other sources of income.
No.
All right. I will appoint Darren Patterson. You do have to do a little more than just call and say I want him, but you will be appointed. But now, as far as you being on a special docket with Judge Lee, you're not in custody. You've obviously made bond, right?
That's correct.
And we only put them on Judge Lee if you're going to be in custody.
Judge, can I inquire what kind of case this is, what the charge is?
The charge is criminal trespass and criminal damage to property dating back to August 21st, 2019. So do you want to see if we can keep that on Judge Lee's, or is there any reason we should?
It appears, Judge, that setting it to a different docket, such as one of yours, is what I would request, because I'm getting ready by Friday, given my current schedule, might be a little tough.
I just thought of the reason they may have put it on there is because I may have filed it back in.
Oh, that could be too.
Let me take a look, because I left there in 2019, but I may have filed it. Let's take a look.
And Your Honor, for the court's edification, I'm looking at the information in this case. It appears to have been signed by my colleague, Ms. Norris.
It does. All right. So that's not why they put it there. They probably put it there thinking he would be in jail, but he's not. So, but we'll put it back on one of my dockets that October, is it what, 28th? Is that what you're doing, Jen? Is October 28th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, Mr. Robinson, that's quite a ways off, so don't forget and fail to come to court again. You have to be back here.
So am I not going?
Excuse me?
So August 16th is not going to be the next court date. It's going to be in August.
We're going to take it off of August and we're going to put it on October 28th. But
Okay.
you stay in touch with Mr. Patterson. Did you leave your contact information with him?
And Judge, just in case, I'd like to have him call again after this court hearing and provide it today also.
All right. As soon as you leave this hearing, you call Mr. Patterson's office and his number. Do you have it?
Yeah, I got it.
You know how to call it. All right. Because you worry me that you disappear and I let you go until October, that you'll forget about it again. But you have a bondsman that'll help you remember, right, Mr. Hebert?
That's correct.
All right. Thank you. Anything else we need to address? Continue the bond with that added condition.
No, nothing.
One moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
There are two final points, Your Honor. The appearance bond that I have in my file for today's date and time actually appears to be for August 16th at 1:30. I'm not sure what the court wants to do with that exactly. It does appear to include all standard conditions. I am in reviewing my notes from the original first appearance before Judge Hart. It would appear the court did specifically order no contact with the property or victims. The state would respectfully suggest those should be the continuing orders and allow the charges present before the court. Additionally, there does appear to be a special condition endorsed on this particular bond. Quote, must show in person for court appearance at the BUDC. However, again, it would appear that the appearance bond appears to be executed for a date subsequent to today's date, so I'm not sure how the court wishes to reconcile that, if at all.
Well, first of all, on the bond, Mr. Robinson, you're going to still be held under that bond, but I'm changing the court date from that August date to October 28th. You're still obligated just as if you were on the August date. Secondly, he ordered the defendant to go to the Butler County Detention Center, which is curious to me, because if he appeared already on the bond, he shouldn't have to go back to the detention center. So I'm not sure I can reconcile what Judge Hart was directing there. But since he's on the bond, I'm going to hold him to that bond. And if he doesn't comply, we'll have to issue another warrant. So that's about all.
Okay.
Mr. Robinson?
So do I need to, do I just call and I'll go down there and find out if I need to show up to the detention center on the 16th?
Well, did the judge tell you to appear in person at the courthouse?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking the detention center, but it was the judicial center. JDC would be judicial center. Maybe. Is it court security? Is that what he wanted? He wanted him to appear at the courthouse?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, so he's already violated that order by not being here today.
No, he said be there on the 16th.
Okay.
Today's judgment.
So.
Okay, so yes, you need to be live in the courthouse, not by Zoom. And that will reconcile it, I believe.
So he does need to show up the 16th. Okay.
No, I'm just substituting the 16th for the 28th. He needs to be live at the courthouse on the 28th.
October 28th at the courthouse. I got it. Thank you.
8 a.m. And then he needs to call Mr. Patterson's office as soon as this hearing's over.
I got it.
All right. Okay, Mr. Robinson. Go out and stay out of trouble.
Thank you.
You may go. And Mr. Hebert, I think that's the only one you're here for.
Correct.
All right. Thank you, sir. You're excused as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, I've had Bert Baker.
Someone?
I've had Bert Baker send me a chat saying he needed to go to work.
Okay. Mr. Hebert, did you have anything further?
No, I'm getting off. I'm trying to mute.
Okay. I thought I heard someone say something and I wanted to make sure.
I
Well-
did, Judge. I would like to make sure that I'm in the right court. I've been on here, but I don't see my lawyer or anything. This is Jeremy Grimes.
Well, Jeremy Grimes, who's your attorney?
Nick Oswald.
Well, I don't have Nick Oswald showing here.
Do you have my name on the docket?
I do. We're on the record in 2023 CR 453, State of Kansas versus.
Sorry, just a minute. Do we know Jeremy Grimes? Why is he so familiar? His name and his face.
Jeremy Lee Grimes. Is it Jared Regier or Cheryl Pierce for the state?
Jared Regier on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state. Jeremy Grimes, the defendant, in person and pro se. Okay, June 24th, state by Mr. Sweeney. Defendant failed to appear. Counsel failed to appear. Clerk informed the court of the phone call we'd received from Attorney Oswald's office, and judge set the matter over to August 12th. Earlier in that day, Vanessa from Oswald's law office called and stated that the defendant would not be able to make the hearing this morning due to a loss in the family. She stated she would let their defendant know not to appear this morning and asked if they could get a new date. The clerk did not give them a new court date. She requested that if one be set, she would inform them through email. June 17th, that was the 24th, the week before, the defendant's attorney called and requested the case be heard at 9:30 as they have a hearing in another court at 9. Okay, that should not be a problem, but yet it doesn't show that they were here. April 15th, Attorney Oswald was here. That's the only time I actually saw him. I don't see a written entry of appearance. I don't see any other appearance. And he showed up and asked for a 30-day continuance to that June 24th date. And thereafter, then I told you what happened, but this case dates clear back to September 18th of 23. And that's when the defendant first started saying he was going to hire an attorney. Counsel?
To cut to the quick, I'm not sure if this is any help to the court, and I'm certainly am in no position to advise the court as to the substance or of any filings by opposing counsel, but I am showing that on February 19th of 2024, an entry of appearance or plea or not guilty was filed by Mr. Oswald. It would appear that more recently a motion to withdraw was filed with the court on June 18th of 2024, as well as a order to withdraw that appears to have been signed by Your Honor on June 26th of 2024.
Okay, I see now, calling my attention to it, the February 19th entry of appearance. Request for discovery, motion to continue, order to continue. Motion to withdraw May 18th. Order to withdraw June 25th. Okay, that's why Oswald was taken off the cases, because that order was signed. Well, back to square one, Mr. Grimes. Apparently your attorney withdrew.
I'm not real, I've paid them $3,500. I'm not real sure why they're withdrawing. They told me $3,000 to take this case on, and I've paid in full $3,500 so far. I don't really know what to do. Honestly, I mean, I work really hard for my money, and I have 3 kids at home, and $3,500 is a lot of money to pay for a lawyer that has come to court one time.
Okay. The motion to withdraw, which he should have given you a copy of, says you have not satisfied your financial obligation. You have notified him.
Yeah, what happened, Your Honor, is they told me so much money, and I paid them the money, $3,000. I paid them the money, and then they send me a bill for $900 and something. Well, I paid $500 on it, and then I try to call them. I don't get anybody call me back, and then they try to tell me I owe $1,100 more. They're just sucking me for money.
Okay.
I mean, I've paid $3,500.
Well,
now here I am with no lawyer again.
He puts in the motion that was filed June 18th. He says the defendant has not satisfied his financial obligation. 2, the defendant has been notified of any pending trial, hearing, conference, or deadline. An alternate counsel should be retained. Specifically, the hearing set for June 24th at 9 a.m. And then 3, that this motion and notice was sent to the last known address of the defendant in compliance with Rule 117. And he shows that he sent it to your address on Brunswick in Wichita.
Yeah, that's my address.
And then you didn't respond.
I'm not real tech savvy with the email, so I try to call them, and I've called them so many times. I mean, I have the proof of that, but I can try to contact Vanessa. I tried this morning.
Sir, I can't really explain what's going on between you and your attorney. What you're telling me presents a curious situation, but we do need to address the charges before the court at this time. And that is domestic battery, which is a serious crime. Do you want to have more time to check with Mr. Oswald? Do you want to apply for court appointed? Do you want to?
If I can really honestly ask to try to see what I can do with Mr. Oswald, because, Your Honor, that is really a lot of money that I've paid.
Sure.
Then, you know, I can't understand why it would be too much more money to give them to complete the case. You know, I can't imagine it being a lot more money after I've paid them $3,500. I can't imagine it being much more money for them to.
All right, well, what I will do is set this over to October 28th at 9 a.m. And he's already been let off the hook, but now with this court, so you still need to address representation. But, you know, it may be that if you think you've paid him and he's not showing up and that he misled the court, then you may have disciplinary actions. I don't ever want to recommend those lightly, and I'm not recommending them. I'm just saying that may be a situation that would apply. It may not. But I would start, as you suggest, with talking to him and his staff and see why they withdrew. But according to his notice, he gave you notice and you didn't reply.
But as far as I have money, a little money. I could pay him a little more, I suppose, but I don't have another $4,000 to hire another attorney after that.
Talk to him about it. You talk to him about it and see if you can accomplish anything satisfactorily. If you need to apply for court appointed, you can look into that, or take any other actions that you may feel you need to do. But otherwise, we do need to take care of this, and I'll have it set for October 28th at 9 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Grimes. We'll be in recess and you may go.
Your Honor,
Mr. Bergier?
there is one final matter on this case, which the state would request a ruling on.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, in reviewing the notes, it would appear that prior to today's hearing, there have been a number of hearings where the defendant did not appear. Based off my notes, it would appear that the defendant did not appear for a June 24th hearing date, neither for an April 15th, 2024 hearing date, and before that, neither for a March 4th, 2024 hearing date. The state's understanding is that the court did enter certain orders at the March 4th hearing date in accordance with the failure to appear, and the only appearance bond I'm showing in my file appears to have been executed in September of 2023 for an appearance in December of 2023. So the state would request clarification as to how the court wishes to proceed in accordance with that issue.
Your Honor.
The only bond I'm showing is.
Your Honor.
Just a moment, September 28th, 3,000 through Hot Rod bail bonds. Mr. Grimes?
Yeah, I've honestly appeared. I have not failed to appear one time on this case. I contacted my lawyer. I've stayed on top of this. My lawyer is the one that has told me every time not to appear or when to appear. I on my own, I have not. The only reason I have not, you've got anything with me not there, is because my lawyer has actually told me that no need to appear because it was the death in my lawyer's family, not in my family.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was my lawyer.
All right, well, hold on. Okay, so September 18th of 23, first appearance. You appeared from the Butler County Jail. December 4th, 2023, you were present via Zoom at court security. March 4th, you failed to appear. Attorney also failed to appear, so we issued a bond forfeiture bench warrant. That was March 4th. Then March 6th, we had ordered a continuance to April 15th. So it looks like we set aside that first bench warrant.
If that is the finding of the court, the state has nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. And then there was the one that the attorney called about the death, and we thought that was the defendant's family. So, okay. All right, I'm going to continue the bond you're on, sir. See what you can work out with Mr. Oswald. If you can't, then you need to be checking other resources. And I will see you back here October 28th at 9 a.m. But
Okay, Judge, I really appreciate it. Can you put in the notes maybe somehow that any of those then failure to appears was on the attorney's side rather than not mine?
I think we've got those in there. I think that's what's implied.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure of that. I will see you October 28th at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Holy.
Oh, people, my Odyssey is going crazy again. Let's hope it's just a quick fix.
Holy moly. This guy, I want to try and find which, so I know it's Oswald, lawyer, and I think it's Kansas. I have a feeling that this guy has been scammed. There is an Oswald Law in Hutchinson. Bankruptcy, DUI, criminal defense. They have a 1-star rating from 3 reviews. And they say your typical overpriced lawyer who says I can handle this case for C price doesn't do anything but drags it out and asks for more money. Then the next one is April 2024. Not worth the 1-star. I have to leave in order to post. Stay away. Their billing practices are borderline illegal. Oh, just to clarify, I don't know if this is the same law firm. This is just information I'm finding with the same surname. I can't promise it's the same lawyer. I'm going to try and find that lawyer's first name, just double check. But I thought you'd want to know like what this review is saying, this particular one that may be the same. I received a call from them a while ago while I was on the way to our first meeting. They called for information that I would be providing to them in less than 3 minutes. Of course, I ended up being charged for them to needlessly call me. I was charged for them having to correct their mistakes or incompetence. They charged a substantial amount of time for them to make a couple of small changes to forms that are already prepared. They charged me for having to come into the office to sign papers that should have been available during a previous visit or could simply be signed through DocuSign. I would have to make contact before they would do anything. Of course, they charge you for contacting them to remind them you're a client and that they need to do their job. They charge late fees and interests for bills that they never even given to you after they are supposedly overdue. That's just the beginning of the lack of morality. Then they name a first name, which I'm not going to say in case it's not the same person, should not be able to call himself an attorney. He talks a good game, but that is all. I'm sure if Daddy wasn't around, person would have nothing. I had a very simple probate case that ended up costing over $4,000 and took over 1.5 years to close. Not because it was complex or time consuming, simply because blank literally did nothing. Left me hanging in the wind for almost 1 year. Even after that, I still had to continually ask him to do his damn job. Stay far, far away from this place. If someone could do me a favor and just see if you can grab the first name at the beginning of this when he pops up. Let's see if I can get the timestamp. About 15-20 minutes ago. I can't remember if he said that it is court appointed. I don't think he is. I just want to know if this is the same person because this person has wild reviews. Disgusting POS who takes your money and charges you over and over again to do nothing. So the reason why I'm carrying on reading these reviews in the meantime is because it sounds eerily similar to what he's saying has happened. Literally kept charging me to meet with the ADA when she still didn't have the evidence ready. It took over 6 months to get some evidence collected, tested, and sent back. For those 6 months, he charged me, but literally did nothing for me. I told Blank I would not agree to anything until all evidence was turned over. The first time I was able to view the evidence was during the trial at court, not before. Every defendant has the right to review all evidence against them prior to a trial, so a proper decision and defense can be prepared. This was a violation of my constitutional rights. I will be reporting Blank Oswald to the bar. He acted like a spoiled child who has no manners, and his courtside etiquette is lacking. Blank yelled at me in a courthouse in front of the ADA and prosecuting witness. Blank literally yelled so loud the prosecution called him in the courtroom to settle him down. Blank literally made their case out so all of them could hear how unprofessional and against the rules is that. That doesn't really make sense. He should not be able to be a lawyer. This man is a bad person, took all my money, wasted my time to do absolutely nothing for me. Blank could not even defend my rights to a fair trial. Stay far, far away. He claims to be a loving Christian family man, but the only thing he loves is money. Maybe he needs another Porsche or Escalade to drive. Liar, thief, and works better with the other side than his own client. Hey, Blank, I still don't have my evidence. Hello? Also, Blank, I'm requesting all my money back. Time to send my emails to the bar. Blank makes promises he can't keep, like handling both the civil and criminal case. I told Blank that if you can't take one, then don't take either. He agreed from the start to take both. A man is only as good as his word, and Blank's word means absolutely nothing. The worst lawyer I've ever dealt with in my life. Blank also discussed my case with others that I never once gave his permission to do so, and that is against my attorney-client privileges. Be a good person and send me all my money back. You did nothing for me. Charged his hourly rate and increased it by 25% during my time as his client. Open contract that he changed and did not sign. Any attorney could do better. Do not waste your time with him. You have been warned. Also, if it was a private defender with this guy... Oh, it is! Okay. So at least now I can say it. This is Nick Oswald that I'm reading. And this says, Nick. Nick. So I was keeping the name out because they said, let me just make this back to this so I can go back a page. Keep showing my email address, so my non-YouTube one. I was keeping the name out in case it was a different person, but as I was reading it, I was like, hold up. This is all sounding the same. But then what's weird is they have good reviews on other places. And lawyer. Best 10 lawyers. Oh, okay, no, he's coming up on Yelp as bad under best 10 lawyers. I was just double checking. I was like, hold on. Stop telling me to log into Facebook. I don't want to log in. Okay, I get that I'm not logged in, but you won't let me click log in. Ugh. Okay, I can't log into Facebook right now. It's not letting me. But I wanted to see if people were posting scam. Wonder how Jeremy found this law firm. Surely not with the best reviews. The thing is, what I'm looking at right now is the reviews are pretty decent, not on Yelp. There's only 3 on Yelp. So if you were to skim it, but then lawyers.com, I just want to make sure this isn't the exact same person. Okay, this is the exact same one. So it kind of looks like if you were to not do a ton of research and you were to just skim it, he wouldn't look too bad. But I guess because I knew that I was looking for a certain like order of things that he allegedly does, I could find it. Haha, lawyer, pants on fire. That's funny. I really want to dig into his Facebook, but like just to see the reviews on Facebook, but I can't get on. Because the thing is, like, that Jeremy guy genuinely looked shocked. Like, you can't fake that shock. Okay, now I'm on avo.com attorneys. There's the same person who went and posted disgusting POS. Then we've got someone who says they're amazing. Thank you, you guys are amazing. Then we've got one here that says, I hired Nick to help me fight some tickets and get my car registration unsuspended. Come to find out that after I paid him $500, he's no longer my counsel when I wouldn't pay him $500 more bucks because he only postponed 2 court dates when I just need a release liability from a judge. I found out he was no longer representing me when a warrant was out for my arrest after I missed a court date I didn't know about. Then we've got thank you. The rest is all good. So I don't know if it's like a luck of the draw thing. Okay, Steve's on it on the Facebook thing. Thanks, Steve. I just saw that message pop up while I was busy changing tabs. So I don't know if you said anything before that. I just literally went like boop, boop, boop. So that's interesting. Anyway, back to Judge Webster before she deletes the stream.
All right, Mr. Patterson.
Bert Baker, Your Honor.
You're on the record in 2024 TR 659, State of Kansas versus Bert Lee Baker Jr. Please announce appearances.
Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Bert Baker. Mr. Baker does appear via Zoom audio visual.
And Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Thank you. Announcements, Mr. Patterson.
Your Honor, we announce at this time state has agreed to amend the charge to KSA 8235, no valid driver's license. To that amended charge, Mr. Baker will enter a plea of guilty. At the time of sentencing, Your Honor, there's an agreed recommendation of $100 fine, costs, court to determine attorney fees, a 120-day controlling sentence, and a 6-month non-reporting probation. Thank you.
Do you have his license current?
Yes, he's legal to drive as a restricted driver's license.
But he doesn't have it.
He's got 2 other cases in Sedgwick County he's paying off under the plan that the state of Kansas set up for restricted driver's licenses.
All right. I'm going to check out a few things on here. Everybody's special today. All right, Mr. Baker, how do you plead? Well, first, Ms. Pierce, you do make that amendment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Baker, how do you plead to operating a motor vehicle with out of license?
Guilty.
And was that on October 18th of 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
You were driving in Butler County without a license?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember where you were driving?
I was driving on 254 just out of Benton.
Okay. When you say just out of a mile or two?
Literally like right outside of the main road in Benton.
Okay, clearly in Butler County. And is anyone making you enter this plea today by any threats or promises other than your plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you continue with this plea, you will have given up your right to a trial, been found guilty, and unable to appeal that conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're pleading guilty because you were in fact guilty. Is that right? Of driving without a
Yes, ma'am.
license? Okay. I accept your plea and find you guilty. Your fine is $100 and your sentence is 120 days in the county jail. Your court costs are $108. And where do you work?
I work with Power Electric in Wichita, Kansas.
All right, your attorney's fees are $450. I'm sorry, $250. So attorney's fees, $250, fine $100, court costs $108. I believe that's $458. If you do not want to serve that 120-day jail sentence, you have to be successful for 6 months on a non-reporting probation. Do not violate any laws and pay the $458. When can you pay the $458? How much time?
Yeah, about 4 months.
I'll give you 120 days to pay, and if it's not paid in full, your license will get another suspension. You can get a collection agent after you, and you could end up revoked and serving that jail time.
I understand.
All right, so start making payments. Don't let it snowball on you.
Okay. And I can make them payments online, right?
PayKScourts.com.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess. You may go.
This is Greenwood, I want to say, in Kansas. Greenwood, I think, in Kansas.
Tara Bales, Your Honor.
We'll be in recess on 2024 TR 663, State of Kansas versus Tara Lynn Bales. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Tara Bales, who does appear via Zoom audio visual. Your Honor, I would announce this time, pursuant to plea negotiation, state has agreed to amend the charge to no valid driver's license, KSA 8235. At the time of sentencing, there is an agreed recommendation for a $100 fine, court costs, court to determine attorney fees, 120 days controlling, and a 6-month non-reporting probation. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ms. Pierce. That's your agreement and your motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Bales, how do you plead to driving without a license in Butler County on December 1st of 23?
Guilty.
Anyone making you enter this guilty plea today by threats or promises other than your plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand with this plea agreement, you're giving up your right to trial as well as your right to appeal conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you driving an automobile in Butler County December 1st to 23?
Yes, I was.
Did you have a valid license?
At that time, I did not, but now I do.
Okay. And do you remember what road you were on when the officer stopped you?
254 on my way to Towanda.
Okay. Inside the county line?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, having found you guilty, I sentence you to $100 fine, 108 court costs, and 200. Where do you work?
I'm actually a caregiver for my father.
Okay. And is that a paying position or?
No, ma'am, it is not. I just do it out of the kindness of my own heart.
No one pays you for it?
No, ma'am.
Is it a full-time job?
I'm here Monday through Friday, some weekends, and I'm here all day and all night.
Okay. And you don't have any income at all?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Who supports you then?
I live in Section 8 housing. I've done LEAP. I have food stamps.
Okay.
My sister occasionally gives me $100 for gas. But other than that, I do have a husband. He just started a job, working for his brother. I don't.
Okay. All right, Ms. Bales, I'm going to waive your attorney fees, but you still owe $100 in fines and 108 in court costs. Your sentence is 120 days in jail. If you don't want to serve 120 days in jail, make sure you successfully complete 6 months of probation. To be successful, you have to do but 2 things. 1, violate no laws, and 2, pay the total, which is 208. How much time do you need to pay the $208?
If the court would be willing to give me at least 60 days, then I can talk to my sister, and see if she would be able to help me out with that.
All right, I'll give you 60 days to pay. If you don't pay, your license is going to get suspended. You're going to have a debt collector after you, and you could end up serving a 120-day jail sentence.
Yes, ma'am, understand.
All right, so you can pay online or you can pay at the courthouse, either one.
Alrighty.
All right, you may go at this time. We'll be
Judge, before you
Oh, wait.
excuse the defendant, can you clarify how much the attorney fees were or what you did with those?
Yes, I waived those.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You may go, Ms. Bales.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Michael Buckmaster, Your Honor.
We're on the record in 2024 CR 210, State of Kansas versus Michael Ray Buckmaster. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Michael Buckmaster. Mr. Buckmaster does appear via Zoom audio visual. Judge, we're asking to have this case set for jury trial.
Pre-trial is Monday, September 30th. Mr. Buckmaster, I'll continue your bond with the condition that you be back here by Zoom September 30th at 8 a.m. I am going to make you appear live at the courthouse for your jury trial, which is set October 2nd and 3rd at 8 a.m. You have to be back here at the courthouse. So the 30th, the pretrial on Monday will be by Zoom, but the trial will be live October 2nd and 3rd.
That's fine.
Anything further? Bond will continue with those added conditions.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, you're excused, Mr. Buckmaster.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, can you give me just 1 minute, please?
Certainly.
Can I just say that Judge
Wichita
Fleischer,
Bonding Company, who are you here for? Oh,
Judge Fleischer just asked me if I'm gonna stream Boone. So I might. Like if a judge asks, you kind of got to do it, you know.
you say for Jorge Dubon? Yes, Johnny.
Okay, I'm ready to go. Thank you.
Okay. Shall we take up Jorge Dubon Yanez? I don't see him here anymore.
Mr. Regier, is that yours?
Your Honor, if the court wishes to take up that matter, I certainly am in a position to do so.
All right. We're on the record in 2023 TR 2223, State of Kansas versus Jorge Alexander Dubon Yanez. Show Jared Regier for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant. Is the defendant here? Mr. Yanez, is he here?
I don't believe he is, Your Honor.
All right, for Wichita Bonding, you are?
My name is John Gear.
Okay, and I show that this hearing had been canceled. Mr. Regier, have you something to address?
Yes, Your Honor. The notes that I have in my file would appear to indicate that today's hearing was canceled. It would appear that Mr. Patterson did appear on the dock before the court with the defendant on back approximately 5 days ago on August 7th, at which time it would appear that a plea was entered, and the only hearing currently, and it would appear that the purpose of this hearing was on a motion for judgment on bond.
And has that been set aside, Mr. Regier?
One moment, Your Honor. Based off my notes, Your Honor, from an earlier hearing on June 7th, it would report that it would appear that the court did make certain findings about the motion for judgment on bond being withdrawn. It would appear, however, that that was before counsel for the defense was appointed to this matter.
Okay, but the bottom line is it has been set aside.
That is what my notes would appear to suggest, Your Honor.
All right, then, sir, it sounds like you're free to go. Motion withdrawn.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
you, Jared.
And I see case bill bonding is back. Mr. Case, do we have something else we need to address?
I just was letting you know that Janelle is in custody and she's en route right now to Butler County with Big Mike.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you letting us know that. You may go.
Thanks.
Or you can stay, whichever. All right, now then, Mr. Patterson, did you have anyone? Do you want to pick up Mr. Carter?
I see somebody who said they need to get to a neurologist appointment. Miranda Bert.
Yeah, I don't see Miranda Bert. Oh, there she is.
She's Judge, it's Miranda H. And it's HURTT. 23 CR 395.
We'll be on the record in 2023 CR 395, State of Kansas versus Miranda Lynn Hurt. Please announce appearances.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson here on behalf of Miranda Hurt. Ms. Hurt does appear via Zoom audio visual. Your Honor, would announce this time Ms. Hurt will be entering a plea of no contest to criminal damage to property. For that no contest plea, we would stipulate to the admission of the affidavit.
Ms. Hurt, how do you plead to the charge of criminal damage of property?
No contest.
Is anyone making you enter this plea of no contest by any threats or promises?
No.
Do you understand that you're giving up your right to a trial and that you'll be found guilty, giving up your right to appeal conviction?
Yes.
And I understand that there is an affidavit filed August 17th, 2023 in the file. That do both parties stipulate
Yes, Your Honor.
Provides the factual basis to this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Finding a factual basis exists to support this plea, the court finds the defendant guilty and that the no contest plea being knowingly and voluntarily entered. Recommendations, counsel, for sentencing?
Okay, Broken Baker, thank you so much for the raid. I love how people are like, where am I and what are we doing? I'm sorry. I basically, you're with me, Vicky Mac. This is a commentary channel. If you don't like commentary on the court, you probably don't want to be here. But basically, we are watching Judge Webster, and we just watched a guy who got what sounds like scammed by his lawyer. And so it started this rabbit hole of us looking into the lawyer who has horrific reviews on Yelp. There's only 3, but they're all bad. And basically, I was like honing in focused on that. And then also, I'm a mod for Judge Fleischer, so I was keeping tabs on that chat at the same time. And one of the judges that is very quick to remove their streams is live right now. So I have another laptop that I was recording that on. So all over, basically, but mostly listening to Judge Webster, who also deletes the streams almost as soon as they're done. So we could very well land up having it cut halfway. Hence, less talky in the middle of it.
Judge, we're going to recommend a 90-day controlling, no fine, 1-year probation, the no contact, continue court costs, probation costs, and I'll leave the attorney fees to the court.
No restitution?
Yeah, Judge, just so it's on the record, I have researched the file. I find that we have sent out victim notice and as well as a victim impact statement. I do not see anywhere in the file where it has ever been returned, nor do I see any contact with the alleged victim calling or asking for any kind of restitution. So at this time, the state is not requesting the same.
Mr. Patterson, anything further?
Nothing further, Judge.
Ms. Hurt, having found you guilty of criminal damage to property with value under $1,000, I didn't hear the amount, therefore I know that it would be appropriate to charge it and convict it as under $1,000. Your fine is waived. Your sentence will be 90 days in the county jail. Your court costs are $158 plus $60 supervision fee. And where do you work, Ms. Hurt?
I work at the nursing home.
Okay. You'll pay $250 of your attorney fees. I believe that comes to about $468. How long will it take you to pay $468?
I am paying a lot of medical bills right now, but if I could get 4 months to make like $100 a month, I could do that.
All right, I'm going to order that you pay at least $116 a month. First payment due September 12th of 2024. And then another $116 due on the 12th of each month thereafter until paid in full. You are to violate no laws. All standard conditions will apply. Have no contact with the alleged victim or wherever that person might be. Make your first report to probation immediately after this hearing by telephone. Their number is 316-322-4153. Call them immediately after court and sign up.
Okay.
Anything further?
How about the state, Your Honor?
Nothing further.
And we're in recess and Ms. Hurd is excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
James Carter, Your Honor.
Will be on the record in Carter.
Court vibes is awesome.
On the record in 2024 CR 97, State of Kansas versus James Michael Carter with Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, who also appears in person. Mr. Patterson.
All right, this is a case where I spoke to Ms. Pierce about the need for the video of the stop. Would ask the court to allow it to be continued one additional time to receive that additional discovery.
Any objection, Ms. Pierce?
No, Your Honor.
Then this is continued to October 28th at 9 a.m. Mr. Carter, all existing conditions on your bond, plus the added condition that you reappear October 28th at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. by Zoom. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You may go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is Jonathan Chandler here?
I have not seen him, Judge.
On the record in 2023 TR 2403, State of Kansas versus Jonathan Nash Chandler, Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, who apparently fails to appear.
And Judge, I can tell the court that I have attempted to get a hold of him, but have not received any information from him or calls back from him. I have no explanation why he's not here.
Okay. Recommendations, counsel from the state?
Bench warrant, bond forfeiture, Judge.
That will be the order of the court. Bond forfeiture will issue. Bench warrant will issue.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I got a message from one of the clerks saying that he called at 9:45 today asking if he had court, and they did send him the link and told him to log in as soon as possible, and I have not seen him.
All right, thank you. If you'd log that in the notes, I'd appreciate it. I'm still issuing a bench warrant and new bond set at 10,000 cash as surety because this has happened before.
Oop.
Nothing further. We'll be in recess on that matter. On the record in 2024 TR 1564, State of Kansas versus Tammy Ann Davis, Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant. Tammy Davis, are you here? I've called this case before. She had sent a chat that she had been here from 7 o'clock, and that was at 9:20. Tammy Davis fails to appear on transporting an open container. Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, who fails to appear. She was here June 12th, 2024, when Judge Rickey told her to be here today and set her to bond at 1,000 OR.
Your Honor, tell the court she was here this morning. I did speak with her. I spoke with her last week. We were going to request to be set for jury trial, but she's not still on here. I don't know, Judge.
I'm going to issue a bond forfeiture bench warrant, 2,000 OR, or 2,000 cash or surety, I'm sorry. Will now be on the record in 2022 TR 2564, State of Kansas versus Joshua Glenn Green. I think we did that one, didn't we?
We did, Your Honor.
On the record in, we did Jeremy Grimes.
Okay, speaking of Jeremy Grimes, we have to hop over to the Google reviews on this lawyer. Thanks to Steve. I don't know, Steve, how I didn't see this when I was digging in, but this lawyer is literally lawyering the reviews. Can you see it? It's a little small, but it's okay. And yes, that is what she said. Okay. So they have like some decent reviews, and then the same thing of had to pay. He's in a hurry to get paid, but not to get rolling. Like they have some good reviews on Google that are super happy. They've done an amazing job. They put in so much effort. Highly recommend. Like this is 6 days ago. This person's happy. So I don't know. And then you have this one a month ago that says, these are horrible people. They will lie to you every step of the way. All they care about is money. I just want to reiterate again, this is just all alleged in someone else's opinion. This is not me saying it. And I'm only looking based on the details that were in court. Just in case they try to lawyer me while I'm reading this. They will play good guy, bad guy with his assistant to try confuse us, I think. At the end of the day, all they care about is making the bill as high as possible. They tried to bully me into leaving a good review for money. They tried to bully me into leaving a good review for money. If you're in need of good help, go anywhere but here. Not only will it break your bank, but you will not get anything they promised. Edit. I'm not from another team. This is absolutely true. And as you read reviews, you will see it's an ongoing issue with other people. When you call to see for yourself, they will lie and lie. And once you sign, they will use you for every penny they can get from you. Not a caring lawyer, money-hungry, driven individual. So they then reply, the above review does not accurately reflect the aggressive legal representation that Oswald Law provides on a daily basis in highly contentious areas of the law. We take pride in standing up for our clients, even if in doing so upsets others. The rules of professional conduct restrict our ability to provide a response. The duty of confidentiality means that we do not disclose to others that we have provided someone legal services. Be cautioned that reviews can be written by an adversary or opposing party, other attorneys who are our competition, or anyone else. Online reviews, positive or negative, should not be the sole basis for selecting an attorney. Instead, give us a call and decide for yourself whether our team is a good fit to help you win when it matters most. Alternatively, in my opinion, you could also watch a live stream where they are representing someone. For example, Judge Webster, Monday, 9 a.m., August 12th docket, and the client called Jeremy Grimes, who finds himself in court on a warrant because nobody showed up for him again. And there were multiple warrants that he had because they had told him they didn't need to show up. They also said, allegedly, according to Jeremy, the court had been told that there was a death in the family. The court was allegedly believing that the death had been the client. However, the client was under the understanding, allegedly, that the death was in the lawyer's family. So there was that. You can watch it for yourself if you want to. Then we have our old Craig Brewer, who we've read a few of. They went and posted it everywhere. Here's another one 6 months ago. Accepted my son's case and told me the first time I met him that he was able to get a client that he was 100% certain was guilty, acquitted for his charges. Now, if I were an attorney, I personally would not say 100%. In fact, most often in the stream, you will hear me say something like 87, 92. I don't say 100 because I can't. Not all my conversations are recorded. I don't always know how things are going to go. So I try not to say 100. Unless I'm agreeing, then I'll say 100%. Nick and Vanessa are both very rude, is never prepared to go to court. He will not fight for his clients. And from other reviews I've seen, plus my own complaint, will demand a retainer fee, provide you with excessive inventory fees to make it look like he is working on your case, then drop you a week before trial. So then we have the same copy-pasted response. Run. I am a pretty open person, and I like to give everybody a chance. They only want money. Lost my PFA case because of my skin color. Lawyer does not prepare well. He has people call and beg for money. I paid him $12K and didn't get anything accomplished. I wouldn't use him again. I actually had him withdraw his name from my cases. Well, at least you asked, because allegedly Jeremy Grimes allegedly found out whilst in court on a warrant that his lawyer had seemingly withdrawn. So just put allegedly in your banner. Well, I think I still have in my description that it says something like anything that is, I wrote a disclaimer, and I'm not a lawyer, by the way. I'm just, I just know how to write these things. It says, the content being used in this video has been sourced online, which is publicly available. I do not claim ownership over any of the material. My use of the copyright material is solely intended for education and commentary. The views expressed in this video are, in my opinion, and should not be taken as fact. That's what I've put. Okay, back to court. Put myself in the bottom corner.
Judge, I believe you, Joshua Cole.
Yeah. Cole with a C?
C-O-L-E, yes.
I'm skipping. I'm not seeing him. Let me look.
24 TR 103.
Okay, on the record in 2024, TR 103, State of Kansas versus Joshua E. Cole, Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant who fails to appear. And I'm showing that that was canceled or removed from the docket. The defendant failed to appear April 8th. Attorney Andrews was appointed, appeared for you. I think you were ill or something.
Yes,
but the defendant failed to appear, so this might be a motion for judgment, possibly?
I don't think that's been, I just showed this one as being canceled. I think that there was,
Cheryl, listen. A microphone amplifies your voice. You don't have to scream at us.
the failure to appear on 4/8. And then I think there is a motion for judgment on bond. Yeah, we're here for a motion for judgment on bond, but it shows in my system that that's canceled for some reason, but I'm not sure why. And maybe he has been arrested and placed on the docket for 10/16/24. I don't know if that sounds right to everybody.
Jen, what do you show?
Motion has been withdrawn. It looks like he was picked up and has a bond for 10/16/24.
Okay, I'm not seeing that in the notes, but they may just not have caught up. Okay, we are on the record in Hutton then. On the record in State of Kansas versus Kathleen Ann Hutton. Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defense. Kathleen Ann Hutton, do you appear? Defendant fails to appear on this. A motion for judgment on bond. Ms. Pierce, does the state still wish to pursue that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Patterson, you wish to be heard?
Judge, I've had no contact from Ms. Hutton. I do not take a position on the motion for judgment on bond.
Motion is granted. We'll now be on the record in Marks, case number 2024 TR 834, State of Kansas versus Ricky D. Marks. Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant. Mr. Marks, are you here? Mr. Marks fails to appear.
Your Honor, on this case, I can tell the court I can tell the court I did speak with Mr. Marks last week. He was going to be here. I'm not sure why he has not shown up here today.
Well, on June 12th, 2024, he was here when we gave him this court date. Ms. Pierce?
Bond forfeiture bench warrant, Your Honor.
That will be the order of court. Bond forfeiture, bench warrant, new bond set at $2,000, cash or professional surety required. Nothing further. We'll be in recess on Ricky Marks. Will now be on the record in 2024 TR 1580. Oh, we did that. That's Nevarez, Dulce Nevarez. Will be on the record in Rodriguez 2022 TR 1959. Cheryl Pierce for the state. Mr. Patterson for the defendant, who also appears in person.
Judge, can you give me just 1 minute?
I certainly can.
Make sure I've got the right case here.
Judge, it's Estelle. Your agent
Okay.
called.
I got it.
All right, it looks like we were here June 24th, 2024 on a motion to revoke diversion, and the defendant said he has an apprenticeship and makes good money and would like to have this set over. So we did. So we're still here on the motion to revoke diversion. Mr. Patterson?
Your Honor, I would announce this time that Mr. Rodriguez will stipulate to the allegations contained within the motion to revoke diversion and waive hearing.
Mr. Rodriguez, is that right? You stipulate, that is, agree that you violated the terms of your diversion?
Yes, Judge.
And do you waive your right to evidentiary hearing on this?
Yes, Judge.
All right, now in the motion to revoke diversion that was filed February 26th of 24, certain allegations were made. Which of those allegations are you stipulating to?
All three, Judge.
All right. Finding that the defendant has waived his right to hearing and violated his diversion, including that he failed to pay his court costs in full with a balance of $903, that he failed to successfully complete his online education course, and he failed to submit to verification of successful completion of the 48-hour alcohol and drug actions program. I will not only find the defendant in violation of diversion, but I will revoke it. And at this time, the matter is to proceed on trial on stipulated facts. Is there anything additional before I proceed on a trial on stipulated facts?
We just asked court to review the diversion agreement for the stipulated facts, Your Honor.
Very well, I will at this time look at the diversion agreement that was filed February 23rd of 2022. Which does include a provision for stipulation of facts that if the trial is resumed for violation of diversion, the court is to consider Butler County Sheriff's Office case 2022-6448 and its contents, and that the defendant is stipulating to on June 22nd or June 5th of 2022 did drive in Butler County with the BAC of 0.214 and was under the influence of alcohol. So I will find the defendant guilty. Do we need an alcohol and drug evaluation, or was one done?
Judge, I did email you one earlier this morning, and also to Ms. Pierce. It is the one from the time of the diversion. I would note, though, that it says if he stays abstinent, this should be still current. I'm not aware that he has any new charges or anything like that concerning alcohol.
Well, I'm not seeing that sent this morning, but I do remember I received, there it is, strike that. I do have the alcohol and drug evaluation from Addiction Recovery Counseling Services for Zachary Rodriguez, and the assessment was 11/28 of 22. That's got some age to it. Usually go back that far. As Mr. Patterson said, the recommendations are, quote, based on this assessment and an extensive interview, it is recommended that Mr. Rodriguez attend the ASAP 48-hour program and that he sustains abstinence from all illicit substances as well as alcohol, indicating a low probability of a substance use disorder, end quote. Ms. Pierce, do you have any reason to suggest that he has not remained abstinent, that he has not abstained?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
All right. Any objection to using this evaluation?
Nope.
All right. I will accept that evaluation and proceed to accept recommendations for sentencing.
Judge, as far as I know, let me double check something here, but I think this is a first time DUI. So $750 fine, 6 months underlying, 12 months probation. Of course, follow all the recommendations of the drug and alcohol evaluation and do the victims intervention program. And I think that's all.
All right. Mr. Patterson, anything further?
Judge, we'd ask court to adopt the recommendations, and as to count two, we'd ask court to order the scheduled fine.
Mr. Rodriguez, at this time, having found you guilty by trial of stipulated facts to count one, driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs or a combination thereof in Butler County, Kansas on June 5th, 2022, and having found you guilty of unlawful use of your turn signals, an infraction on that same date, I will accept your alcohol and drug evaluation and sentence you to 6 months in the Butler County Jail. Your fine will be $750 on count one. On count two, that is a $75 fine. $108 on court costs, $60 supervision fee. And remind me, sir, where you work?
It's an electrical contractor called Cox Kent and Associates.
Okay.
Sorry, who and what?
Your attorney fees will be $250. So again, fine of $750, fine of $75, court costs of $108, $60 supervision fee, and $250 in attorney fees. So I think that comes somewhere around $1,243. I will grant you a 6 month or a 12 months reporting probation. So if you don't want to serve 6 months in the county jail, you have to report to probation for 12 months. You are to call them immediately after court, and if they're closed for lunch, call them again after lunch at 316-322-4153. All standard conditions will apply. Plus, you will have to complete the DUI Victim Impact Panel, and you will have to follow your alcohol and drug information school recommendation. If you've already done that, provide proof, and the probation office will consider that. Likewise, anything you've already paid towards your fines and costs in your diversion will be accepted, but you will not be credited for any diversion fees you paid. Anything else we need to address, council?
Judge, just one thing. I don't know if you said it and I forgot to write it down or not, but are you putting this on a payment schedule?
I did not say that, thank you. I'm going to order that you pay at least 1/12 of the total due each month. Your first payment will be due September 12th, 2024, and you'll owe on the 12th day of each month thereafter until paid in full. You can always pay more, but that's the minimum you have to pay per month. Anything else, Ms. Pierce or Mr. Patterson?
I think that's all from the state.
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. So Mr. Rodriguez, call probation. I don't know if you'll get anybody, but if you don't, call back about 1:30.
Yes, ma'am. Can I get that phone number again, please? I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared.
No problem. It's 316-322-4153.
Okay, I've got that now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll now be on the record in 2022 TR 3791. I think, did we do Jam Saunders? We didn't. On the record in state of Kansas versus Jam Nicole Saunders. Jared, or who's here for that?
Jared is, Your Honor.
Jared here on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
And Mr. Patterson for the, nope, just the defendant in person and pro se. So we have Jared Regier for the state, defendant in person and pro se. Ms. Saunders, you are here for a motion for judgment on bond.
Yes, ma'am. Can I'd just like to say something when I get the opportunity.
Good court etiquette. Not the guy next to not wearing a shirt.
I see from the clerk's note you were on the wrong Zoom this morning for about half an hour.
Yeah, it's been so a clerk named Courtney called me Friday and said that she received like return mail. And I really think that that's what happened the last time that I missed court. I never received the Zoom link, and I called the next morning and I spoke to several different people for about 3 days, just trying to figure everything out and what I needed to do, because I posted a $500 bond already. I was picked up again on the same bond because it wasn't taken out of the system. And so it's just been an ongoing issue of like communication and everything with the situation. I know ultimately it's my ticket, my responsibility. But as far as like the, receiving the Zoom links and everything like that, it's just been kind of like miscommunication. I don't really know or understand why, but I don't know what your recommendation is going to be, but I would just like to, I know prior to it was the diversion. And the only reason I've been kind of not putting it off, I started filling out the diversion application and I just stopped because I didn't understand the whole diversion process with me just having a registration sticker, my card not being registered. And so I talked to a couple of lawyers, and the ones that I did speak with, I talked to some locally here in Kansas City and some in Wichita who told me to just go ahead and,
Give me just a second, okay.
Yes.
Are you representing yourself, Ms. Saunders? Are you waiving your right to counsel?
Well, no, I'm representing myself. I just didn't know whether or not I needed a lawyer or not. I was just confused.
Well, I will remind you, as you've been told at least at your first appearance.
Okay.
And that would have been March 1st of 2023, that you do have the right to an attorney. You can hire any attorney of your choice. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for an attorney, or you can waive your right to an attorney, which you indicated back in March of 23 that you were going to do that and apply for diversion.
Okay.
But then when your next hearing date came, you failed to appear. And then in July, that's when you called about your license being suspended and that you noticed you had a warrant.
Right.
For failure to appear. And then January 1st, you were back in front of the court and you were again saying you're going to apply for diversion, no attorney. Then you failed to appear again April 3rd, no attorney, no show.
The April 3rd was when I did not receive the
So
Zoom
that
link.
was the 20, okay, that was this year, 24.
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh.
Okay, and then April 30th, that's when you called in and said you didn't get the Zoom code. So that was almost a month later.
No, I spoke to someone the next morning, which would have been the 5th if the court date was on the 4th.
Okay, well,
Because she asked me why did I call that.
All right, so let's take care of the business at hand.
Okay.
Mr.
All right.
Regier, what do you want to do about the bond forfeiture bench warrant?
Your Honor, in light of the defendant's apparent appearance here today, the state would move to withdraw the motion for judgment on bond at this time. As the court is well aware, this is a case that has had a number of prior failures to appear, and it would appear based off my notes that after a failure to appear back in April, the court did enter certain orders. So I do not believe I am in a position to address that, at least at this time. Perhaps some later on in the hearing would be a more appropriate time to address that particular issue.
All right. So how do you want to proceed on this registration charge that?
I would like to just do the diversion after speaking to several different lawyers.
Well, I'm not inclined to want to keep setting this over for a diversion. So how do you want to proceed today?
What are my options? I'm sorry.
Well, you can plead guilty and proceed with sentencing. You can plead no contest and proceed with sentencing, or you can plead not guilty and set it for trial at a later date. Now,
Okay, I will plead guilty. Because my car wasn't registered at the time.
all right. Is anyone making you enter this plea of guilty?
No, ma'am.
Is anyone making you waive your right to an attorney?
No.
All right. You do this freely and voluntarily, knowing that you could have applied for court appointed or hired an attorney?
Yes.
All right. I will have the record reflect both the docket notes and the journal entry that the defendant knowingly and voluntarily waives right to counsel. And you said that you're pleading guilty. And again, is anyone making you enter this plea of guilty?
No, ma'am. So are you saying that I could still get a lawyer if I wanted? I'm sorry, I don't really understand how this works. So could I still get a lawyer at this time to represent me?
Are you wanting to get an attorney?
Can you tell me what I'm facing either way, whether I do or don't?
Okay. No. Are you okay? It's up to you whether you want an attorney. You can hire an attorney. You can apply for court appointed, and if you qualify, one would be appointed. They're not necessarily free, but they're at a reduced rate based on your ability, if any, to pay.
Okay.
But you can certainly apply, and I'll see if you qualify, and we'll go from there.
I would like to do that. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Where do you work?
I'm a birth doula. I'm contracted with the state of Kansas, with the state of Kansas Medicaid.
Okay, so I think birth doulas make quite a bit of money. What?
Yeah, but we're
how do you do
it's
it?
not consistent. It's not consistent because it's basically a pilot program, and so I don't have consistent clients right now. And then also we're not paid until like 60 days from the birth. So but it's $1,300 per birth.
Okay.
So like right now, I just had a birth. Only have one birth for the month of August.
What did you do this as an income last year?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you file on your tax returns for the year?
I believe like 12,000.
Okay. And are you married or single?
Single.
Any children?
2. Yes, ma'am. 2.
2? Okay. You don't have any other income?
No, I don't.
All right. I'm going to appoint attorney Darren Patterson, DARRENPATTERSON.
Okay.
His number is 316-322-7700. I am going to set your hearing over to October 28th. You must be back here by Zoom at 8 a.m. But do not show up with your attorney needing more time.
Okay.
You contact your attorney today, If he thinks you can still squeeze in a diversion, you need to get that done now. I'm not gonna keep postponing this.
Okay.
This has gone on and on and on. So, October 28th, 8 a.m. What town are you in?
I'm in Kansas. I'm in Merriam, Kansas.
You're in Marion, Kansas, up north of El Dorado?
No, I'm in Merriam, Kansas. I'm in Kansas
Oh,
City.
Marion.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you live there in Merriam?
Yes.
Well, contact Mr. Patterson as soon as this hearing is over. Well, he maybe check with him again at probably 1:30. That's when they'll probably open again.
Okay.
But you call him and talk to him. Mr. Patterson, will that work, 1:30?
We are opening back up at one judge, but she won't get me, but she will get my assistant. Make sure and leave all your contact information that they ask for.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Patterson, this case is getting some age on it too, so November 22nd at 22, so hopefully she can get this resolved. And you're in Kansas or Missouri? You're in Kansas?
Yes, I'm in Kansas. I'm outside of Overland Park.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, if the court is finding that the motion for judgment on bond is withdrawn in this matter, the most recent appearance bond I have in my file appears to be for an appearance quite earlier from the last hearing, specifically for an appearance on January 10th of 2024. It would appear that the most recent failure to appear in this case was from April of 2024. So I'm not sure if the court wants to do anything with that at this time or not.
No, I've been pondering that too. Do you know what happens when people fail to come to court?
A warrant is issued. Yes, ma'am.
Have you turned yourself in on your warrant?
I did in September. So there's a warrant right now.
You need to turn yourself in on the one right now too. Go to your local law enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah, turn yourself in. That's the only reason I'm telling you is to go turn yourself in.
Okay.
Make sure you do that.
And I can do that locally like I did the last time.
They're in,
Okay.
yeah, Kansas City, Merriam area, yeah.
Okay.
But hopefully you'll quit having to turn yourself back in.
I'm sorry.
Hopefully you'll start attending and getting your codes. If you don't get your codes, call your attorney. He's got them.
Oh, I didn't have an attorney
Oh, that's
prior
right.
to
You
this.
didn't have an
So,
attorney.
yeah.
All right. Well, you call
And
this
like Courtney
office.
said that she said that the links they were sending me she called me Friday and said that they were being returned. So I never received them.
Okay. Well, call Mr. Patterson's office, give him all the contact information you have. Make sure you keep any appointments he sets up, even if they're appointments by phone.
Okay.
Let's get this resolved. So nothing further. We'll be in recess and.
So I have one last question. The $500 bond that I already posted, is that what this is for? It's being revoked. Is that what?
He's setting that aside, but you'll have to post a different bond.
Is it going to be 500 again? I just would like to know.
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. I don't have that. I already switched off my link and I don't have that.
Okay. Thank you.
So you may go. And we'll yes?
Can I have her case number?
I've switched off her link. Somebody want to?
23410, 23 CR 410.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate it. Okay.
What was her name?
Judge, it's Cheryl, 23410. Be there.
Name again?
Sanders.
And Your
Yeah,
Honor,
I don't have that. Jared's got to give it to you.
And Your Honor, the number that I have is a 22 TR 3791.
That's correct.
And Your Honor, I believe that is the last case I have on this morning's docket. If I may respectfully withdraw and defer to my colleague for the remainder of the docket.
That would be fine. And I have one case left. Ms. Saunders, you're free to go. You can hang up. and will now be on the record in 2024 CR 31, State of Kansas versus Nicholas D. Warner. Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant. Is Mr. Nicholas D. Warner here?
Your Honor, I have not had any contact with him. My last note was on April 8th. He failed to appear. I haven't had any contact with him since then, even before that. So I don't have an explanation why he's not here.
And I believe this is his show. It's
a motion for judgment on bond.
State still seeking judgment.
Yes.
Defendant here, last call, fails to appear, motion granted. Now,
Judge?
I show everybody on my docket has been called and addressed. And then
Judge?
someone has shown up.
Mr. Marks, please wait a minute. Judge, I show we also have a Garrett Snelling.
I show that too, Judge.
Take a look.
Can we please go back to Mr. Warren and let me know what the call was on that?
Yes, but let's take up 2023 CR 410, State of Kansas versus Garrett John Snelling. Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, who does not appear. I am showing that this was a motion to pursue judgment on bond, but then August 9th of 24, I'm showing a motion to withdraw a motion for judgment on bond.
You're correct, Judge. Once I got into my system, it looks like this motion for judgment on bond has been canceled. I don't know why, but it looks like it's been reset to 9/16.
All right, so if we can make a note of that, and it's removed from today's docket, but it's.
Is that the motion to 9/16 or this case to 9/16?
This case.
Thank you.
The motion's already withdrawn. Okay, now then, Jim, who did you say you wanted to revisit?
I think she wanted to go back to Nicholas Weiner.
Oh, all right. We need to go back on the record, or you just want to know what we did?
She indicated she wanted to know what we did.
And it was just a, Jen, are you there? We've got you muted. Are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
We granted judgment on bond on Weiner. Defendant failed to appear.
And Judge, I noticed that Ricky Marks is on here. I have received a chat from him that he was on here earlier, which he was. His phone died. He's logged back on now.
All right. Jen, is there anything else you needed on that?
No, thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome. We'll be on the record now in 2024 TR 834, State of Kansas versus Ricky D. Marks. Cheryl Pierce for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, who also appears in person now. Mr. Patterson?
Your Honor, I would tell the court that this is a case where I am needing to have an additional meeting with Mr. Marks. Would ask the court to allow the bond forfeiture bench warrant to be withdrawn. He was on here this morning. He's been on there as iPhone all day long. I really didn't know who he was, but now we got that cleared up. It is Ricky Marks. And would ask court to allow the bond forfeiture bench warrant withdrawn, reset it for a new court date, allow me to set up a specific time. He's to call my office to discuss his case.
Any objection to those requests, Ms. Pierce?
No, but I don't think this is a motion for your bond. This is just a control hearing that was scheduled for today. I don't show a motion for judgment on bond.
It's not, but I did issue a failure to appear warrant.
Earlier. So you want to withdraw that?
That's the request.
You got Cheryl?
I don't have a problem with it, Judge. Okay. I do believe that Mr. Marks has been in and out.
All right. Since he has tried to be here, even though he wasn't here when his case was called, I will withdraw the bond forfeiture, reinstating the previous bond, withdraw the warrant, including the new bond. And I will set this for October 28th, 2024. Mr. Marks, be here at 8 a.m. and make sure your phone's charged, because as you're learning, these dockets can go on for hours. So, all right, October 24th. No, October 28th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
October 28th, 24. And then Mr. Patterson, you wanted to set up something?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Marks, call my office tomorrow at 9 a.m. to discuss your case.
Yes, sir.
All right, now those are bond conditions. I'm ordering you to contact his office when he told you to and be here when I told you to. All right, you may go, sir. Does that cover everybody that's on the docket?
I think it does, Judge.
All right, with that, I'm going to adjourn this docket. Thank you all.
Nice one. Okay, so I just recorded a 45-minute video of Burnett County that I think is part of like another 3, only to find out when I went to hit stop recording that it actually was not in fact recording. And there's a very good chance now that this is going to be removed before I actually record it. So that's a fun little distraction. Anyway, lined up next, I have Judge Hillary Brayley, because we've been enjoying her so much. I saved some wild ones of her from the weekend. Also, what the heck? It is 9:20. I'm going to have to step out the room for a bit and sort stuff out. Also, at 10, I'm going to redirect you to an hour of this judge. Actually, should we watch her now? Probably not, because then it's going to be an hour and 20 of the same judge. Let's see. Judge Simpson was around, but not for long today. Also, I have been keeping an eye. I managed to get into Judge Middleton's chat this morning before he closed it and said hello. And then he was saying, I have a friend who was in South Africa. So that was cool. I need to add the judges greeting me to my intro as like a like boasting. Not boasting, but I don't know what the word is. Like bragging rights, I guess. Right. Where does Judge Simpson start? Oh my goodness, was he there for like 3 minutes? If I wasn't scared of what gets shown in Young Thug, I would literally be watching it live every day. It looks so interesting, but I'm so scared.
They lost it. So that's why I don't trust these dogs. Yeah, I can take care of it. Exactly. I don't know what the hell. I don't know.
All rise. 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The United States Cedric Simpson presiding.
You may be seated. All right. This one. And Detective Sergeant Roberts. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. I reviewed the search warrant
You raise your right hand, please, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm the information contained in the search warrant and affidavit is true to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief.
Yes, sir.
All right, fantastic. Sorry about the wait. Get it signed and we'll get it right over to you.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
You do the same. Stay safe, please. I just have two on this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Court does call the case of People versus Lance Mitchell.
People.
Our card appearing.
Good afternoon.
Judge, Your Honor, this is part of oh. Get rid of that gun, will you?
Go ahead.
Sorry, what?
Couldn't help.
Yeah, I know.
Oh. Get rid of that gun, will you?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Couldn't help.
Yeah, I know.
This is part of a bigger case. There's the biggest part of the case is out in Oakland County. I'm asking the court to allow us to adjourn the pretrial to sometime maybe September 16th.
Sorry, he wants me to wait for Oakland County. Just, did I hear him?
Well, you thought I was a funny guy.
I'm just trying to figure out what you're asking. Wants Boston now to wait for Oakland. Let me think about it. No, wait. Go ahead. How much time do you need?
I was thinking we can probably.
You got something coming up in Oakland?
Yeah.
When is that?
We've got a preliminary exam that we're probably going to waive next week. And then we'll get another week or 2 weeks to get to AOI, and then we'll probably be able to resolve it there.
Okay. So you need a month, 5 weeks, something like that.
Are we looking for a Monday afternoon?
Yes.
How about the 16th, September 16th? No?
Will that work? It does. Any objection from the people?
Your Honor.
All right. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to September 16th, 2024, 1 p.m.
Your Honor, has the court received a substitution of counsel?
I have, and I've signed off on
Excellent, thank you.
it.
Fire me already?
I missed this kid's name.
Okay. I think we've got this.
All right. Thank you. All right, good seeing you.
Okay, so just bear with me a sec. So first of all, I want to show this. Thank you, Broken Baker, for the help. It is wonderful to have us all going to each other's channels. I love it. And then second of all, I'm sorry, bear with me. I need to hear the name of this thing so that I can mark it down properly. Because I want to see if I can find the Oakland County one as well. I like following from beginning to end. Ah, I'm so sorry. I didn't share the screen again, so I thought you guys were watching as well. I'm sorry. Let me just get back to where we were then. At least you didn't have to watch it twice. So now we're going to be looking for the person's name is Lance Mitchell. Lance Mitchell. Also has case in Oakland. J-Ray, I'm so glad you were here. I don't know what your real name is or any of that, but I do hope that you continue to live a peaceful mountain existence, and you know what I'm meaning.
Thank you. All right, good seeing you. Court does call the case, People versus Frank Anderson.
People.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf and with Mr. Anderson, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Frank Anderson. So when they come in with shorts on, what should I do?
Smile and say,
No,
that's
the first part that's not gonna work. It's a smile. He just won't do it again, right?
probably not, Your Honor.
Probably not.
He represents he will not, so I believe him.
All right, what are we doing?
We wish to set this matter for final settlement conference, Your Honor.
Jury final settlement conference, October 18th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Jury selection, October 21st, 2024 at 8:30. It is in person with full pants. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
That was quick. Okay. And guess who is back today? So we're going to hop over to this. I'm going to go sort my life out. The judge might pop into chat. So if there's anything that is keyboard warriorish that you wouldn't say to his face, it's not going to be a good time. But I will let him deal with you. You'll be stuck like Chuck in the chat. Also, I think I'm just going to change it from the Hutch trial. I don't know if we're even going to get to Hutch today because there's so much good stuff going on. Like, I have now reached the point where I just printed October and November because we are reaching that point of the year where judges are setting for November. We've got Styron on the 6th of November, which is the most important sovereign citizen in my little crime world. Pending what Lance Mitchell did. Though he's not a sovereign citizen. Okay, let's watch a bit of Fleischer and then I'll edit it. Let's just say court watching. Also, I'm going to set this thumbnail. I don't know who made it, and I really want to say thank you. No one's claimed it. So if it is yours or you know who worked on it, please let me know. Sarah Boone is in October. I know, and this Judge Fleischer asked me if I'm going to cover it, so I feel like I need to.
All right, nerds, you ready? Let's roll.
Cortez, come on up.
Hi, Logan. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have an arraignment?
No, Judge, I don't. It's just a reset that I just wanted to approach when you have time.
What's the last name?
Nicole. Michael.
It's just anything you need?
Well, Judge, you ordered a drive.
Huh? Okay.
Ordered been driving for a period of time, and he's been doing that. He's doing breaking up on violations. We were just gonna see if we could amend that condition and run.
Yeah, let me, I guess it's gonna be a deeper dive. Let me need more. Okay.
Cortez on page 7,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Cortez. Samuel Cortez. Samuel Cortez?
Samuel, yes,
Mr.
sir.
Cortez, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions or interviews for the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer, will be appointed to represent you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On August 5th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop in Harris County after observing a vehicle driving on the wrong way of the road. While coming to the conclusion of the traffic stop, officers could smell the odor of marijuana emitting from the inside of the vehicle. Officers told both occupants to step out of the vehicle. As the driver, the defendant, was exiting the vehicle, he hit the lock button and attempted to close the driver door, locking the vehicle before officers could conduct a probable cause search on the vehicle. Officers attempted to keep the driver from closing the driver's side door by pulling the door towards himself, but the door continued to shut, and the door did in fact shut. The defendant then pushed the officer's arm away to prevent the officer from keeping the door open.
No other charges, I guess, no DWIs, no, just the only charge.
They did recover the marijuana, but it was the passenger side. I'm not sure if the passenger was charged with being shown.
Was it, so there was a passenger, someone else?
Passenger, and those 25 grams found on the passenger side.
Okay, did we know if that person was charged or no?
I don't see it, but I'm gonna check the OR and run it again. But it is shown connected.
Okay.
Same transaction.
Mr. Cortez, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Sure do.
Can you run this license, please? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Sir.
You're not allowed to drive unless you have both of those. If I find that you drive without either, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail.
Absolutely.
Likewise, do not pick up any new cases. Otherwise, if you're not good while you're out there in the free world, we will take it away from you.
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
28.
What do you do for a living?
Mechanic.
Who do you live by yourself? Tell me about yourself.
I got a wife, kids.
Okay, can you afford a lawyer?
High school, and for the most part, that's my life, you know.
How much money do you make a month?
Around $3,000 or so.
Okay, we're gonna reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I will have you go to Ramona. We're gonna have you sign a reset and we're gonna get you out here. Be good while you're out there. Don't pick up any new cases. Do you understand? Okay, come on.
His license was eligible.
Great, thank you.
Moffitt. Our next one is Mr. Moffitt on page 23.
Got it.
I haven't forgotten about the cat cam. I'm busy setting it up now. But I broke. The laptop doesn't charge. They seem echoey today. Okay, let me just see something quick. I'm gonna unboost. Stable volume is off. Let's see if that's better. I made a little bit of a mistake with the cat cam laptop. It's the one that doesn't stay on if it's not plugged in, and I lifted it up and then the cable fell out. So a few minutes for the cat cam.
Good morning, Mr. Moffitt.
Good morning.
Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Defendant and the complaining witness are married. On August 4th, 2024, the complainant stated that she told the defendant that she knows that he has been cheating and wants to be away from him. She stated that the defendant then told her, "Nah, fuck that," and lay down on the bed next to her. The complainant stated that the defendant then followed her to the living room and said, "Nah, fuck that, give me my phone." The complainant stated that the defendant was grabbing her arms and hands, with his hands causing her to feel pain. She stated that she then pushed the defendant, hitting him with her phone on the head. The complainant stated that she wants to press charges on the defendant and stated she also wants a protective order. The defendant stated the defendant accused him of having semen stains on his shirt from another man. Defendant stated that the complaining witness had been taking medications and has been diagnosed as delusional. He stated that she and he had a brief struggle. He was trying to take away her phone. He stated that no one punched anyone and that no threats were made. Defendant stated there was nothing physical and nothing happened. Defendant stated that defendant hit him on the top of the head with her phone, and he stated he did not really have any pain. Officers observed a red bump on top of the defendant's head. Officers also observed minor bruising on the complainant's arms and a fresh scab that looked like the imprint of a fingernail on her right arm.
Okay. Mr. Moffitt, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have the rip done? Do we know if she wants to have contact with him?
She wants a protective order, Your Honor.
She does. All right. So understand that protective order was issued on the 5th of this month. Get to know it, because if you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. You violate conditions on that, I can hold you at no bond. zero bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every single person of Harris County. Do you understand?
Sure.
Did you say there was alcohol or any kind of dope usage or anything like that? Okay. So for this, at this moment, the only thing I'm doing to you, I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person and not to be in possession of any weapons. I don't know if she wants to have contact with you. So until I know that she wants to have contact with you, don't. Do you understand? If she texts you, do not reply. If she calls you from an unknown number and you answer and it's her, hang up. If she emails you, don't respond. You're the one that's going to end up in jail with a high bond if you violate these conditions. Once the state gets to her and figures out if she wants to have contact with you, at that point, we can readdress these conditions. Do you understand? Okay. I'm going to have you go to Ramona. We're going to have you sign a reset. After that, I will have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. We will have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go, sir.
Rocha,
So can you file no contact, no weapon?
page 27.
So we have what appears to be a DWI that was disposed 8/1/24, another DWI from 6/28/24 with an assault of a peace officer, and it looks like she picked up another DWI. Okay,
It was the original DWI.
okay,
No PC, they don't read that, straight grand jury.
okay.
So it's one DWI that's attached to the assault peace officer.
What about,
So it was one DWI that was no PC, then I re-indicted it, but to re-indict it, I have to file it as a felony. And then it was reduced back down to a misdemeanor. That's why it shows 3. But it really. no
is it
PC.
true only a first?
Correct. No PC, then reduced to misdemeanor, and the misdemeanor is not active. It was 3, but it's just 1.
Can you run her history anywhere else? Does she have any other DWIs from any other counties, any other states? Planets?
Judge, no, she just has 1 dismissed driving while licensed and valid.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. Ms. Rocha, you are now charged with driving while intoxicated. It's been indicted by a grand jury. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. You will be randomly tested. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you are found to consume alcohol, any kind of dope, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. So it's on a summons, so we don't have to do anything with the bond. We can just reset our case. What do you do for a living, Ms. Roach?
Work for Dr. Pepper.
You work for Dr. Pepper?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a Texas driver license, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Can you guys run her license? Do you have valid liability insurance? Do not consume any alcohol. Do not use any dope. You're walking on thin ice, man. I'm telling you now, you get pulled over, just like I had this issue with thinking you have 3 DWIs. What do you think an officer is going to do when they pull you over? They're going to think that you're a complete mayhem on wheels. So I would be very careful when you get into a car. You get pulled over, you have the slightest smell of anything, you're going to get charged again. Do you understand? We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So first, I'm going to have you go to Ramona, sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Rachel for your bond conditions. After that, you'll be free to go.
Okay.
Do you understand? Okay. So no drugs, no alcohol, random UAs. You can wait.
Thompson on page 35, Your Honor.
Okay. You, Miss Ashanti Thomas. Ms. Thomas, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. On August 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a apartment in Harris County where they met with the complainant. Complainant stated the defendant is his girlfriend and they've been in a relationship for about 4 months. They live together and they have lived together for about a month. Complainant stated that he and the defendant were having a disagreement regarding a secret phone call with someone he didn't know. He confronted her regarding the phone call. He stated that they continued to argue until about 10 p.m. He stated the defendant then hit him with closed fists and struck him in the face at least 2 times, and stated that she kicked him. He also stated that he felt pain and would like to press charges. The complainant stated that he used both of his hands to push the defendant away from him while she was hitting him, and he was able to hold the complainant to coach her so that she would not hit him. He stated that he left the apartment pulled down. She locked him out and took the keys to his car. Complainant stated that he heard the defendant was breaking things within the apartment while he was at the door. He then called the police. Officers observed broken glass in a table laying in the living room. Defendant stated that she was not the one to call police, but she and her boyfriend were coming at each other. And that she stated that she possibly pushed the complainant in the face with an open palm.
Do you know if he wants to have contact with her?
Not this time, Judge.
Ms. Thompson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. There's a protective order that's in place. Get to know it. If you violate it, the state will file additional charges on you. Do you understand, ma'am? No contact and no weapons. Otherwise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, make it a $5,000 to $10,000 bond. And if you don't have anyone to pony up that kind of money, guess what happens? Well, no, you'll be stuck like Chuck until this thing is over with. And I'm gonna tell you, it takes a long time to get these things over with. What do you do for a living, man?
I'm actively working. I'm in the hiring process to work for Amazon. This morning, I received an email from the Harris County Clerk Office to figure out how the case is gonna go so I could go work for them.
You need a job. When's the last time you've had a full-time job?
I left my job in May of 2024 to go out of state for a family emergency. So since May.
I am making it a condition of your bond that you get a full-time job.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Did you graduate from high school? What we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring you back in 2 weeks and I want to see what you have done to get a job. If you've done nothing, life is not gonna go well. I will appoint your lawyer today. I will have you speak to someone today, but I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done to get a job. Do you understand, man? No contact with the complaining witness, no weapons, and get a job. I will have you go to Ramona, sign a reset. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box. I already have an application on file.
Okay.
Riddle. Page 35 and 36, Your Honor, the riddle.
Okay. Are you Rodrigo Trejo? Mr. Trejo, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're facing a year in jail and a $4,000 fine on the gun case. You're facing up to 6 months of jail and or a $2,000 fine on the racing case. We're gonna do probable cause. Don't say anything.
Thank you, Your Honor. On August 5th, 2024, at approximately 1 in the morning, officers observed 2 vehicles attempting to outdistance each other by accelerating at a high rate of speed from a stopping point. They were pacing at 71 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone. On contact, the driver, one car was unable to produce a Texas driver's license during, sorry, pop-up came on the computer. During pat-down frisk, Defendant advised that he had a firearm in the car. Officers located an AR-15 pistol in plain view on the back seat.
AR-15 going 70 and a 30. And it's a second racing case.
As well
Don't say a thing.
Officers also found a clear bag with 0.31 ounces of marijuana. His driver's license is valid.
Mr. Trejo, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. If I go send you for a drug test now, what it's gonna show up? For what? I'm sending him right now, Rachel. You must come back. Otherwise, I'm gonna set your bond so high, you're gonna split into 3. Do you understand? As it stands now, I am taking away your privilege to drive permanently. You will be signing an affidavit with me that you promise that you're not gonna drive. I am also going to put a GPS monitor and I'm giving you a curfew so that you're not out in the middle of the night. If I find that you drive and I don't give a rat's behind what your reason is, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? This is an affidavit. No weapons, no driving whatsoever. You violate this, I will violate you. Do you understand? Get over here. I'll have you swear to this and I'm sending you for a drug test. You must come back right afterwards. Shoot. When he comes back. Right, I want to know first what's in the system and then we're gonna get back. And then I'm gonna point something.
Your Honor, if you're ready to have some Spanish arraignment.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, my very first one is gonna be Rodriguez on page 29. Rodriguez.
You said Rigoberto?
It's Cristo.
Cristo, got it, okay. Are you Rodriguez Turubiate? Sir, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. So he's on bond for DWI and he just picked up another DWI.
You sure? Pick us the first DWI at 6:30.
He doesn't have the attorney, so.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On August 3rd, 2024, at approximately 3 in the morning, officers observed a Ford F-150 that were attached, traveling 71 miles per hour in a 50 mile per hour zone. He was following another vehicle too closely. Officers conducted the traffic stop, and the defendant came to a stop in a moving lane of traffic. Officers observed the strong odor of alcohol on his breath, slurred speech, lethargic movement, poor balance. The scene was moved to a parking lot, and the standard field sobriety test was conducted. The HGN was 6 of 6, walking current was used, and 3 to 4 for the one leg stand. Officers also conducted a modified Romberg, wherein the defendant approximated 30 seconds as 45 seconds. The DIC was read. The defendant could not provide a breath specimen. The blood was consented to and blood was drawn. His prior DWI was pending right now is that state is 6/30/2024. Defendant doesn't have driver's license.
What is this document that you signed?
Es este documento del que usted firmó. I don't remember. That I wasn't going to drive.
No.
And not drink, I imagine.
Guess what happens now? I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case, Mr. Rodriguez Turbiate. And I am now going to serve you with a new lawsuit as to whether or not I'm going to hold you in contempt and give you another 180 days on top of all this. You will now be taken into custody, and momentarily I will serve you with another case. And now you'll be looking at 3. He goes with you. So I'll find probable cause on the second case, and I'm going to revoke. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. I'm going to point him away first. Melissa. 20,000. The old one. We'll talk. I want to point him away first.
Okay, everyone, hold tight. Here we go.